pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next item was approval of the agenda. I'd like one change. I'd like to swap number 2 and number 3.
Oh, all right. If there are no other additions or corrections, I would like to approve the agenda with that swap for move up 3 to 2.
Okay, moved and supported to amend the agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carried. The next item was approval of minutes for the May 14th meeting.
I make a motion that the minutes be approved as presented.
I will support that.
Moved and supported to approve the minutes for the May 14th meeting. Is there any discussion? Hearing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carried. The next item is the financial report.
I know, and I just lost it.
Mary?
Thanks. Well, it's in there somewhere. We began the month with $292,267.95, and we took in receipts of $84,507.12 and made disbursements in the amount of $29,203.31, leaving us with an ending balance in the general fund of $347,571.76.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the financial report as submitted.
Support.
Moved and supported to approve the financial report as submitted. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carried. Moving on, correspondence, item A. The St. Clair County MPA is having a meeting June 27th over in Algonac. You're invited to go, and all the stuff you need to register and everything is in your packet. Might be a good event if you have the time to go that day. It's on a Thursday at noon. Any questions?
No.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, it's $10 for lunch.
I don't care how much is for lunch, I want to know who the speakers are.
Let's say something about
Michigan class investments and roundtable discussion. There's no,
Where does it say that?
on the front page.
Also Kirk Weston and Phil Patlow.
that was last
No,
year.
that was last
Oh.
year.
Yeah,
Last year. That's right, he's former senator now.
Oh, so,
yeah, that's just
Yep.
on the front.
Okay, moving on. New business, item A, the Richmond fire contract. In your packet is the copy of the proposed fire contract. It's basically the identical language of what we've been working under for a number of years. The only difference is we upped a little bit for the contribution towards the equipment acquisition fund because it's absolutely broke since they bought the new equipment, which was inadvertently caused by totaling out one of the old pieces. But the new piece is a pumper versus just a ladder truck. So, is there any questions?
If there's no questions, then I make a motion to approve our Richmond fire contract.
Support.
Moved and supported to approve the Richmond fire contract. Is there any discussion? If none, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Pat, yes, Bill,
Aye.
and Colleen.
yes.
Motion carries. This is Chief Spence from the Richmond Fire Department. So he's going to try and make Columbus, so we won't hold it against you if you want to leave.
Yeah.
I still got a few minutes to kill, so
Okay.
fine, go right ahead.
Okay.
Feel free to stay.
I'll sneak out when I have to.
Okay. Moving on, item B, road commission work orders. We have a couple work orders to approve. One is for $7,632 for berm removal, and the other is $9,438 to replace a large crossroad culvert.
I make a motion that we approve the St. Clair County Road Commission work orders. The first one for $7,632 for berm removal, and the second one for $9,438 for culvert replacement on Springborn Road.
Support. Okay.
Okay, moved and supported to approve the two work orders from the road commission. Is there any discussion on the work orders? If not, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Colleen?
Yes.
Bill?
Aye.
Pat, yes. Joe?
Yes.
And Dave?
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries. Moving on, item C is the fire insurance and bonds for the 2019-2020 insurance. There's a cover letter that went with it that outlined everything. There was a 5% increase, so next year we may have to consider whether it's worth bidding it out, because it's been running closer to the cost of living the last couple of years. We're well satisfied with the carrier, and they probably like us too, because we've never had a claim. But if you need anything, you call them, they're right there. And they do whatever you ask to help you out. So I recommend we approve it, and the amounts are listed, so include those in your motion, please.
I'll move that we adopt the nickel and sack proposal for insurance with a renewal premium of $6,302 and defer the addition of terrorism risk insurance. Although I wanted to ask the fire chief, is there any reason that, given the I-94 corridor, that perhaps we should consider that aspect of the policy?
In terms of,
It doesn't seem like, we've always deferred the terrorism aspect of that proposal. And because we don't really feel that the township or the hall or anything else is at risk in any way, but
about the only
We should have done this.
biggest thing is with the international crossing in Port Huron. It's the second busiest in terms of hazardous materials, and of course you get a good share of them coming down the expressway. But
and we
it's
also
the
have the
second
rail line.
busiest in the
We
country.
have the rail line down
Yeah.
there, which
The rail
is an
line.
unknown commodity.
But I mean, you can never predict where the terrorism is going to happen. In the 20 years, I also work with the sheriff's department. In the 20 years I've been there, this has been very low key here in terms of suspicious people response or, any type of suspected terrorist activity, anything like that. It's generally more concentrated toward the international crossing itself.
Appreciate it.
And
You want to include about the bonds?
the bonds too.
Yes, and the premium increase, let's see, $400 each, $100 each for the renewal of the position bonds for the clerk, deputy clerk treasurer, deputy treasurer, and in compliance with the state statutes 4.69 and 4.77.
I'll support that.
Okay, moved and supported. As far as the terrorism thing, in order for that to apply, it's really complex. First it has to go through the sheriff of the county. Then he has to say, hey, this was terrorism. And he has to go to Lansing. They have to make a determination in Lansing that it's terrorism. Then it has to go to Washington, D.C. They have to make a determination it's terrorism. Then it has to go to the Secretary of, I believe it's Defense or Homeland Security, and they have to concur before you're ever going to get anything out of it.
Right. It's very,
And I just don't see that as a likelihood out here.
I think it's
Probably
very low.
not.
So that's why we haven't done it. So, any other questions on the motion? Hearing none, I'll have a roll call vote, please.
Okay. All right, Dan?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Did we get a second on
Yes.
that?
Yes, me.
Oh, okay.
Bill
Aye.
and Colleen.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Item D, codify our general ordinances. Our general ordinances are in the worst shape imaginable. They're basically unusable. I did put it in a giant notebook several years ago, but it'd be basically unusable, like I said before. So I got a price from 2 planners to do the job. There's quite a discrepancy. One was $3,900, and the other one, which entails more, is, what was it, $13,200. I'm recommending the one for $3,900. I think it'll meet our needs,
Yeah.
and it's basically just going to lay it out in a different format. There won't be any strings attached to it as far as ownership, and I think it's the way to go. If
Yeah.
it works out well,
And
we may look at the
zoning one.
zoning ordinance book.
Yeah.
What accounts for this disparity? I thought it was kind of bizarre.
Wait, can I,
Well,
go ahead.
okay.
We'll
Well,
let you-
Clear Zoning wants to, they use an interactive computer thing,
Mhm.
and it's all attached together, where it's not just an index and you go to number and page, and they have clear ownership of that. So you don't have 100% clear ownership of your site, which I don't like right now.
I don't either.
Uh,
Never did.
And that's basically the disparity. Now, and he did list the price for the zoning ordinance. He had given us one a few years ago, but it was like 18,000. But I think he said, well, if you roll it in, I'll do it for whatever. But let's see how this one works out. And
The disparity caused me to kind of wonder about the planning for, even though we like Rod's a lot, but I'm not sure it was apples and oranges. That's what I was asking.
well, as
about.
close as I could get, I did check.
Yeah.
And it's a simple matter of whether Rod does it or the other guy to put it on our website.
Mhm.
I think Rod would do it. I did ask our IT guy, and he said if he had the password, he could do it in 5 minutes if it's in a PDF format. So I'm not worried about getting it on the
I'm
website.
not either, and I don't understand what the benefit of the, I guess, you know, the whole pricing of the Arroyo proposal was so much more. I mean, in
Well-
every way, even going forward, it was so much more. Doing the zoning ordinance, the discount they afforded us was as much as the,
Columbus did it, so you can go online and look
Do
at
they
theirs
like
if
it?
you want.
you know? Because it
don't
just
know.
seemed awfully expensive, and I wonder if that abides across the
I
board
don't know
now.
if Rod will give up his
Giffels.
password.
Well,
Did it?
I don't, yeah,
Sure, well, it's our website, it's not his. That's not a
Well,
problem.
then what would stop Brian from doing anything on our website if he has our password?
Well, gee, I think he's working for us. What do you want him to
Well,
do?
if you publish a
No,
PDF,
it's
I
not.
don't think he can mess with it too much. I mean,
No.
if it's a
But
PDF on the
what
But
website.
I
is
think
he- what is
Giffords
he
can
gonna
put it on
charge
like
us?
everything else without costing us
Well,
anything.
the general ordinance, they're not, I mean, people go to our zoning ordinance far more
Right.
researching for site
than our
plan.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
general ordinance is more of a,
Does it really even need to be on our website?
well, yeah, it should be.
It should be.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's,
Okay.
I mean, it's the law
We
of
own
the
it.
people here in
It
Casco.
needs to be in a format you can use,
But yeah.
True, I
yeah,
agree
and
that.
it is not.
Yeah, I was shocked too by the cost.
Okay.
And
So-
we own it from the proposal that we're looking
Yep.
at.
Okay.
And I don't know, I couldn't,
I think we
I
should
still
try
think I
it,
can
see how
say-
it works out.
yeah, let's see.
Fine.
And Steve used to work for them.
Well, Steve
Yeah,
did a
you're
good
right.
job when he worked for us.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I thought it was
So,
great.
and he's working for several of the neighboring townships in place of Giffords. So,
As a planner or just
Yeah.
on this? As a
like 1 day a week.
Well, that was my whole question. I mean,
Well, he gave us the
so
price
high.
way back, like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, we might want to look at that again.
So, but because Giffords had done it for almost 40 years, and they had all our old records and everything, the savings in the price he gave me was, we saved some, but the people that applied saved a lot more, which doesn't cost the township anything, but it's handy for the people that have two site plans. But I didn't go with it. So, but We've been having a little bit of dissatisfaction with Giffords, and hopefully they're gonna perk up.
Okay, I make a motion to hire Casco Planning Group LLC for the amount of $3,900 payable in 3 monthly installments of $1,300 to scan our general ordinance.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Hire Casson as planner to codify our general ordinances for a cost of $3,900. Is there any discussion? No discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Colleen,
Yes.
Bill,
Wait, Chief, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Aye.
Pat, yes, Joe,
Yes.
and Bill.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item E, clerk's workshop. You want to cover this, Patty?
Yeah, there's a retreat that they're having. They're having it, at Shannon Creek, and through my clerks association, I won $500 to put towards anything that has to do with, education for clerks and their deputies. And so I found this at Shannon Creek, which is costing $329 per person, which, taking my deputy, I get a discounted of $58, which the program will cost $600. With the $500 of my scholarship, it would cost you guys $100. The hotel will be $158. Hotel on the way up, $100.
So it's gonna be altogether, what's the grand total?
One, two, three. Three. I'm not,
You want to make a motion?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
make-
not sure how much.
Can't get an
Why
exact
don't you
number off
do, why
this.
don't you do a not to exceed amount and
Yeah.
throw something out?
Okay. I make a motion to have the clerk and deputy clerk go up for professional training to not to exceed the amount of $1,000.
Okay,
Is that enough?
Yeah, way
You're very
over.
close. Got it up. Okay.
Plus Jennifer needs that kind of training too.
You're right. And believe me, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Sure.
Okay, moved and supported.
Who, wait,
We need a support.
I support it. Definitely.
Thought he did.
I thought he did.
Yeah, with all the election stuff
To
coming up.
approve the training for the clerk and deputy clerk at a cost not to exceed $1,000. Is there any discussion? We'll have a roll call vote, please.
okay, that would be Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Pat, yes, Bill,
Aye.
and Colleen.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Okay, now we got to go back.
going up to old business. Item A, DTE LED upgrade. I included in your packet the information I got from DTE. We have 44 lights. Our out-of-pocket costs will be $12,091. There's a rebate of $978 and a projected repay period of 3.72 years. So I think it's well worth the money. A couple of years ago, when they first came out with this, it was a payback of 6 years, so it's getting better. So I strongly recommend we approve this.
Okay.
I make a motion for us to go ahead with the LED upgrade for a cost of $12,091.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported to approve the LED upgrade with PPE. The cost of $12,091. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, a question, where it says type, it says MV, HPS, HF.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah, the MV were mercury vapor,
Oh, that's the current one?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
and we have some that are bigger than others. That's why there's
Right.
a couple with different costs. Now, when I first contacted him 2 or 3 months ago, he said they had a planner go out and look at what we had in the field. And they said, you know, this should be fine. So,
Are we planning to revisit these guys too?
the amount we use them,
Pardon?
I'm still working on trying to get people to
We visited
restore
that
the
some
hall.
years ago, and it didn't seem worthwhile to do to go to LED.
Not for 2 hours a month or whatever. So, anyway. So anyway, later this year, we'll probably have to revisit and add 3 or 4 more lights.
At the intersections there?
Well, Meisner, because it's paved,
Right.
okay? And, but the guy from DTE said, has no effect on this agreement, you can do it anytime. According to him, they'll put the lights up for free, no cost.
Yeah.
Okay, and you pay them their $12 a month or whatever.
He's good.
So, we'll get at that later this year.
All right.
Okay, so we had a
Support.
motion and support,
Yep.
and
Roll call.
any discussion? Have a roll call vote, please.
Okay, that would be Colleen,
Yes.
Bill,
Aye.
Pat, yes, Joe,
Yes.
Andy.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item B,
2.
park update / park name. Colleen, you want to dive in?
Well then, we will be holding a ribbon cutting ceremony at 6 o'clock on the 18th of June at the Casco Township Bell River Park dedication. Fredmore Highway, I have maps if you don't know where it is. And Mark Brochu, I hope, will be there, Parks and Rec. Chris Bunch certainly will be there from Six Rivers. Perhaps Pamela Cloud will be there. Chris Bunch has set out a press release, and so perhaps we will have the Times Herald or the Voice cover, and we will have a nice ribbon cutting ceremony with refreshments. And just this morning, Chris Bunch has said that he will lead a little trail walk. We will mow some of the lawn. We're not going to brush hog down to the river quite yet. We don't want to put the cart before the horse in establishing trails that we haven't worked on. But we will hopefully, if it's fairly dry, have the grass cut and some balloons out if they're still selling helium in Richmond next week. And we'll have a few remarks from whomever wants to speak. And I hope I have notified the township through the social webpage and also on the township webpage. I'm having some difficulties with my Comcast for some reason, and if I couldn't get it out to my Parks and Rec committee, I just told everybody to check with the township. But the general directions are still remain the same. June the 18th at 6 o'clock at the opening of the park. And now all we have to decide on is what we've already put here, is the name of the park. And unless you want to buy a whole new cake, I suggest that you call it the Casco Township Bell River Park.
I think it'd be very appropriate if the township chief executive officer say some appropriate remarks and our parks committee director.
I will cut the cake. And bring the scissors and the ribbon for cutting. And
Yeah.
whatever else, and some refreshments.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need a motion on the name, I mean, that's been used,
Yeah,
but it's
it's
never
on
been
documents.
discussed.
It's very
So-
descriptive.
Yeah.
Casco Township and the Bell River.
That's
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Casco Township on the Bell River, I like that.
And Plan Commission, we did not have any site plan submissions, so we decided to postpone the business we're gonna have. So all the ones who are here will attend.
Well, that's wonderful,
Yeah.
that's good. And then the next week, on the 25th, the Parks and Rec Committee and whomever else out in the township is interested, we'll have an inaugural meeting with Ms. Blau, who will go over the site plan and give us her idea about how we should proceed. She did, Chris Bunch put together a nice little key for us. Actually, I'm not showing that to you because it has restrooms and picnic tables and pavilions and all that sort of thing. Very nice, but it's pie in the sky right now until the committee and Ms. Blau says
Get
so.
together.
Yes,
What
but
time
I'm
is
sure
the-
that,
What time's the committee here?
I beg your pardon?
What time is the committee meeting?
6 p.m.
6 o'clock.
6
o'clock. 6 o'clock on the 25th. And Chris Bunch has walked the property in the trail, and I'm sure if we just follow him down to the river, we will return with as many people as we brought.
Make
okay?
sure you spray up.
And spray up and wear your wellies if you have them. It might dry up between
might,
here and there,
yeah.
but I don't think so. And it's probably slippery, probably clay, so yeah, dress for not a garden party. Not yet.
And believe it or not, we finally got our money.
Oh, we did. I deposited it today.
All right.
Hoo-ha, yes. Yeah, yes, very nice.
Unbelievable, but it happened.
Got it in the bank before Allegan County could claim it.
Again.
Okay, any questions on that? Hearing none, we'll move on to payment of the bills.
I make a motion to pay the bills as submitted.
I'll support that.
Moved and supported to pay the bills. Is there any discussion? A roll call vote, please.
Dan,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Pat, Bill,
Aye.
Pat, yes, Bill,
Aye.
and Colin.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on, next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. Anybody here who has any questions or comments for the board? Now's your opportunity. We would ask you to give us your name for the record, but if you don't feel like it, you don't have to. Yes.
So it's Kathleen LaForest, and maybe I'm jumping the gun, but did anybody check out the nice little township, China Township little recreation area behind their hall?
Yes, that's
Is that-
exactly what I wanted at this hall. Unfortunately, nobody would sell us the property.
I got it.
That's what I've always wanted, was something right around the township hall.
Sure, because you already have the parking.
Yes,
Right.
but we don't own the property.
Right, okay.
So,
But are
sadly-
we sort of thinking of something similar?
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, no,
Similar.
it's gonna have, I'm assuming it's gonna have one or two walking trails. Okay, because the one part of the park is going downhill, so you wouldn't have a walking trail there for ADA.
I've walked the park.
You
Or
know,
a slip and slide.
and the high part is pretty smooth, where you
Yeah.
could have a trail there. Probably end up, don't know, might have a pavilion with a lawn and someplace you could barbecue. I'd like to have someplace you could fish someday, maybe. But, that's all to be planned out and ready to move ahead. But it's just like, the park is just like anything else. Everybody's so doggone busy. I wanted to improve the driveway before this meeting. I had calls into everybody. Only one guy called me back so far. Everybody's just too doggone busy. So, and then it rains every other day, and it's, what are you gonna do? So, and I hear different things from different people about different townships that have them at their hall. Some's good, some's not so good. So,
Well, I know we can't have it at the hall. I was just
No, I
thinking
mean, if
of
we
it.
had more
But
land
that
here.
kind
The
of,
setup
that
is
kind of
nice.
setup with the pavilion that they have, and one of these days, maybe we'll get a playground equipment. I mean, who knows,
I mean, I would think the first thing you need is the road and the parking lot.
yep.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
But they haven't decided where
And
the
I think-
parking lot goes yet, so
yeah.
I can't hire anybody to do it until that becomes
Yeah.
a decision.
And sadly, for a while, we'll have to make do with porta-johns.
They'll be truly rustic.
They had a porta-john at China
I
Township.
know, yes,
Oh, yeah.
I know, truly rustic. And just to give you a heads up, Mr. Bunch is already suggesting a volunteer work crew at some point to just pick up trash and
Cut weeds.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but
They'll probably
pick
barrel
up
it
trash
in the fall.
and metals and things like that. Yeah, when
Oh,
it
that's
cools
good.
down, yeah, we don't
Bring
want to
some
get
goats
eaten
over.
by mosquitoes out there. So dress for the weather, wear long sleeves, please. It's gonna be
Jeans,
buggy.
boots.
Yeah. And bring all your friends.
Okay, anyone else have a question or comment? Now's your opportunity. Well, hearing none, I guess, anybody on the board have anything before we wrap up? We're up to adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll support that.
Moved and supported to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Stand adjourned.
7:28, it looks like, Patty.